Zach in here. We're going to get to our next topic after a quick word from PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of this sports season. Whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both, there's no better time to jump in on the action if you haven't tried it yet. PrizePicks is the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less in at least 2-player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere PrizePicks operates. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, guys, we're going to run through this pretty quickly because I want to make sure we get a little Cavs talk in. But here are 5 stats that you need to know for Sunday's game against the Tennessee Titans. We talked about the special teams and the catastrophe it was last week against the 49ers. It's been bad in the past. Well, how bad really has it been this season? Well, according to DVOA, it's worse than you think. In total net punt value, they rank 32 out of 32. In kickoff rating, 28th out of 32. Punt returns, 28th out of 32. Kick returns, 27th out of 32. And the best DVO ranking in any special teams metric for the Cleveland Browns this season is in their field goal extra point, which is 23rd out of 32. So 23 is their highest ranking in the league in any special teams metric according to DVOA. If you don't know what DVOA is, I'll simplify it for you. This means you suck.
Yeah, you know what? The only the only caveat I would give to Bubba Ventrone is the Browns have so many rookies that he doesn't have any experienced players. Like, he doesn't have, like, most teams that are good on special teams have 1 or 2 or even 3 guys that are experienced special teams players. And the Browns have had that in the past. They don't have anybody. Their special teams is all rookies, inexperienced guys. If he gets fired at the end, if they keep Stefanski and he gets fired, I understand it. But they might keep him because the talent on their special teams is pretty awful.
He kind of hinted at that, alluded to that this week. And,
yeah.
And fine, but at the same time, I mean, cover your lane.
You got to coach him up.
This isn't. Yeah. This is special teams to me is different than offensive. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory of what the role is, and in terms of protecting your lanes on returns, and that's what has been killing them. If it's missed kicks, that's different. It's the basic fun. You mean to tell me these guys didn't play special teams in college? I'm sure they did.
Yeah, like you've been playing special teams your whole life, and special teams are made up mostly of young guys, undrafted guys, and guys that, you know what I'm saying, are not starters. So those guys know it. Malachi Corley, you know good and well that you are a special teams guy. Why do you not know the rules? Why would you field a kick? Why would you field a kick inside the 5-yard line?
Yeah.
And get your feet in bounds so that the team is what are you doing? Everyone knows and understands these rules. And when things like that happen, and I get it, people say all the time, well, it can't be so-and-so's fault. It can't be this person's fault. Listen, man, whose fault is it? Like, at some point, there's a level of accountability. I always go to this, and I always say,
can't be the player's fault?
Yeah, but you can't fire every player. If you're a boss and you have 12 people that you manage, and 8 of those 12 people are not doing what they need to do or hitting production, are they going to go and fire all 8 people? No, they're going to go find somebody to manage those 8 people and say, you better turn it around, because after a while, they have to look at you. You can't turn your roster over every year, but you can get the most out of the people you're getting. And the Browns get the least out of their special teams.
Well, this current economy there, I think they would fire the supervisor and all the employees.
Well,
no, they're just going to consolidate and use AI to do it.
Right,
there it is.
Exactly.
And then you ain't got to worry about none of that.
Unfortunately, AI can't play special teams. This is hard because the guys that make up special teams are, and I hate to refer to them as this because they try hard, but they're the leftovers.
Fringe guys.
So imagine you've got the leftovers of a playoff team running a play against the leftovers of a 3-win team. Well, the leftovers of the 3-win team are probably going to get boat raced because they're leftovers on a really bad team.
However, the Titans have excellent special teams, and they're the worst team in the league.
Well, then credit the coach.
Yeah.
I mean, because to Jay's point, a lot of this is technique.
Yeah.
A lot of it is. I watched the Cowboys game last night. Man, what a weapon Aubrey is, by the way. This dude's hitting 63, 57 yards. He never misses. He just goes out there.
6 straight 60-yard field goals.
It's unbelievable. We've never seen anything like him.
Yeah, he's great.
Nuts.
And, it really does go to show you, how how much inroads you can make with a great kicker. But like I watch teams. When I watch us return a punt and a kick, I know what's going to happen. Punts, we're getting 0.
Yeah.
Kickoffs, we're getting to the 20 and no more.
Unless it's the Raiders.
And you
Yes, then, because their leftovers are worse than our leftovers.
This is a fireable offense on its own. This is a fireable offense. The Cleveland Browns had for multiple years had Deontay Foreman returning kicks.
I do remember.
He's a fullback, bro. Like, this is the things that the Browns
Is
get.
that on Stefanski or Barry? Barry for not having it?
No. Listen, Deontay Foreman, you could have him on your roster as a goal line back, but you under no circumstances put him back to return kicks. It's
That's
laughable.
on the special teams coach, Mike. Why would it? Who else would it be on?
It'd be on Barry for not having a better return option.
Well, to Barry's credit, he tried to bring in some special teams guys, and they tore out their ACL on the
that
first
one
play.
guy, who was they signed?
Jaheim Grant.
2 years in a
Jaheim
row
Grant.
this happened.
Yeah.
And then Naheem Hines.
And then before that, it
then
was
Carter.
Carter, and then it was the other dude who had the injury, the speed guy.
Jakeem Grant.
No, he had
Travis
a
Benjamin?
concussion. He had a concussion.
Marquise Goodwin.
Yep, good.
Marquise Goodwin.
Like he brought in 4, they wouldn't know. But you can't have Deontay
Mike,
Foreman
do you have
back
the
there.
rankings for the Titans special teams?
No, I do not, but I know they have the #1 punt return unit in football. All right, next two stats go hand in hand, so I'm going to do these back to back. Sometimes the numbers don't add up. Against San Francisco, the Browns had a 50% offensive play success rate. That's the third highest mark in any game for the Browns since the start of last season, yet they still managed to score a season-low 8 points despite a 50% offensive play success rate. And part of the reason they were so successful on a play-to-play basis was the offensive line, which had a 94.7 pass block win rate against the 49ers. That was the highest mark of the season. For that unit, they also had a 72.9 run block win rate, which was their fourth best mark of the season. So the best offensive line protection they've got led to the most offensive success
Who
per
gave us
play
those
rate.
grades?
This is from ESPN's pass
Which
block win rate.
what I don't
and success
understand
rate.
is, didn't Shador have a terrible grade?
Yes.
So how does the quarterback have a terrible grade, but the offense did well?
Well, it's overall offensive success. They ran the ball very well.
Very well.
Right, but if the quarterback has the worst grade, that means the passing wasn't good. Like how?
He had longest time to throw of any quarterback, right?
That is correct.
Right.
3.7 seconds.
So that goes to the offensive line credit.
Well, you
and the Niners weren't blitzing, and their defensive tackles weren't very good, and they've had a ton of injuries on defense. So all that plays into it.
So you think about it like this. Okay, if they're not blitzing and they're not doing a lot of that stuff, and they just sitting back into coverage, like if you're sitting in coverage and you're only completing passes that's 4 or 5 yards, I mean that's not you're not going to have success.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of that success that they're talking about went out the game when Jack Conklin left. They was running the ball very well when Conklin
He's not
was
playing
in.
this week.
Yeah, they was running the ball very well. They were running outside zone. They seemed to have some time. And then he got hurt, and then they brought in Livingston, and it was a wrap.
Well, no Teller and no
Conklin
this week, and Dylan Sampson might not play either. He's dealing with an injury too.
A little short-handed. Next two stats also go together, so we'll wrap it up with this. But we've talked about the chase for Myles Garrett's sack record. He needs 4 to set the single-season record. It's coincidence that Tennessee's given up a league-high 48 sacks this season. They've played 12 games. That equals exactly 4 sacks per game. Cam Ward has not been good when pressured this season. He's a 26.2 pressure-to-sack rate. That is tied with Geno Smith for the highest in the league, so more than 1 out of every 4 times he is pressured, he ends up on the ground, which means record watch is officially on. And last but not least, these games still matter, guys. It just depends on who you're looking for. 7 teams had a potential change, according to ESPN's playoff predictor, in their ability to make or miss the playoffs by 25%, depending on the outcome of games this week. Those teams were Detroit, Dallas, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Houston, and Kansas City. Browns obviously not in that group. They're out of playoff contention. However, if they lose this
They're
game,
not technically out of playoff contention.
they're both stop it. They're not making the playoffs.
You said they're out.
They're not
mathematically eliminated.
They're realistically eliminated.
Yes, I agree with that.
Unless you're Tyvis Powell, they're out of the playoff race. If they lose this game, their odds to get the #1 pick in the draft this upcoming season jump up to 14%.
Wow.
If they win, their chances to get the #1 pick drop to less than 1%.
Yeah,
So,
if they win, they're not getting the 1.
exactly. If they
Too
lose,
much
it is
less
still in
time.
I don't
play.
think they're
If
getting
they
the 1
win,
even if they
they're
lose
out.
this game.
I don't think so either.
It's a wrap.
Although if they don't win this game, they probably will lose out.
Yeah.
But
what
that's-
does Tennessee have left? I don't know what Tennessee is.
Tennessee's
left
playing. I think they're playing the Saints. So that's possible if they won this game that they could win.
Yeah,
that game.
there's no way to.
But I think the
Will there even be TV coverage of that Titans Saints game?
I don't know.
You can ask why there would be TV coverage
Stream
of
it
Sunday's
online.
game.
Well, at least you got Shador and
it's
Myles Garrett.
Online.
Tennessee ends with the
Foxcast.
Browns, the Niners, the Chiefs, the Saints, and the Jaguars.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, the Saints is a possibility.
And the
for
Browns
them.
is winning this game by a boatload. Like the Browns about to
Wow.
smoke these dudes.
You have them winning easily, huh?
Yeah, like this is easy money.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
We'll give our official picks at the end
Yeah,
of
this
the
easy
KYC
money,
show.
man.
About 12:55, you'll see that on Channel 3 here in Cleveland.
Miles Garrett might have
But,
16 sacks. It's gonna be picks. It's gonna be all kind of stuff.
16
Like for real,
sacks.
like this is a wrap. Like I got like Cats is gonna be. People gonna be getting juicy against these Titans, bro. This is a
Yeah,
wrap.
I don't see how the Titans
He's
do
like
anything at all.
He's like the odds you could bet. Prop bets, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember the exact number, but like usually a prop bet of a guy getting a sack is if it's a
About
really
even.
good player, he might
About
be
even.
minus. What's that, Mike?
It's about even, give or take.
Right, even. Maybe if it's a really good player, you're minus 110, 120. I think Myles Garrett to get one sack in this game is like minus 400.
Oh, my God.
Something crazy.
Hey, you know what's crazy, McNuggets? I don't even want to say it. This is wild work. I got Jerry Jeudy with over 100 yards.
Me too, G.
Dang.
You weren't here for No Fence Riders yesterday, but
That's
I
what's
am
interesting.
on that.
That's big.
What people don't know,
100.
what people don't know that weren't here early is that Mike and G were getting stoned before the show.
I thought I smelled something.
Nah, that was that cigar
no, but
cologne.
we will talk about the preview and our picks for that game coming up in the WKYC show. We do have to spend a few minutes real quick, guys, talking about another team in Cleveland. Quick reminder, though, if you don't already follow UCSS on social media.